BTubers, okay, let's get straight into it. Which federation is best for you? We have the WBFF on one side and we have the NPC IFBB Pro League on the other. But which federation are you built for? And which federation will get you to your goals the fastest? Now straight away, if you want to be an influencer, and guys, there is nothing wrong with this, just be real and honest with yourself as to the reasons why you want to compete. Are you doing this to be the best athlete the world has ever seen? Are you doing this because, hey, I'm pretty good looking in a bikini and I could probably make a career off it? Look good, make some bank in the process, and be my own boss. Or it might even be because you just want to challenge yourself. Again, no right or wrong answer, but you should somewhat have an idea of what is the motivation behind this. Now straight away, I'm going to tell you if you do choose option A, be an influencer, you can achieve this in either federation. Lots of ladies have made it this way, but I will say it is easier to do it through the WBFF, and there is a reason for this. Let's break this down simply. The NPC IFBB is a bodybuilding federation. So to have the right structure to actually be competitive in this federation, it really comes down to genetics in the world of bikini. And by structure, I mean the way you are built, your skeleton, how broad your shoulders are, how narrow your waist is. Do you pop out at the hips, the size of your joints? Yes, there's a lot more to this. You need muscle, you need conditioning, you need to be able to pose, you need to have the right flow to your physique. And let's be super honest here, if you want to be the top of the IFBB, you sort of have to be pretty as well. It's not often talked about, but let's be real, you have to be pretty to go far in the IFBB. Whether you say you do or don't, and I understand this is very subjective, but it's the actual truth. Now, why I say if you do want to be an influencer or create some sort of brand based off your appearance, that you're actually better off to go to the WBFF instead. Now, the reason for this is because you have less limitations to actually enter, compete, and accelerate in this federation, because it is primarily a beauty pageant cross bodybuilding federation. They want attractive ladies who have decent bodies. Think of it like a Victoria's Secret show meets a bodybuilding show. And guys, I am not taking anything away from the WBFF. There is a place for it, and the girls have busted their asses off to compete. But it is based on appearance, based on sex appeal. It is based on how marketable you are. There is a reason the WBFF stands for World Beauty, Fitness and Fashion. You are not going to be marked down because you can't get a sub 24-inch waist, or you don't have deep tie-ins in your glutes like you would in the IFBB. Speaking of sub 24-inch waists, if you want to get that snatch waist look, which gives you that X-frame we always talk about here, that teeny tiny waist which pops at the hips and glutes, use my code BIKININATION at slimtum.com, the world's #1 waist trainer for a reason. Now, if you're choosing option B and you're doing this because you want to be an athlete, a professional competitor, you want to see how far you can push your limits of the mind and body. Well, which federation do you think I'm going to say? You probably think I'm going to say the NPC IFBB, but you are sort of right and you are sort of wrong. You have to choose a federation which matches your structure and the look you aspire to. You also have to determine which federation is more accessible in your country. In Australia, the main federations are the IFBB, the WBFF, and I'd probably say the ICN. But let's say you're in Europe, the IFBB Elite League is also quite prominent there. Now, this is a different federation to the IFBB Pro League. Once together, they split a long time ago, but guys, that will require a whole other video to break that down. So to understand the different federations, you need to understand what the judging criteria is. You should probably also be aware of who the top competitors are in each federation, because that sort of becomes the standard every year. This sport is constantly evolving. Usually the competitors at the top are the standard in both federations, so it's good to judge yourselves off them. Now let's firstly dive into the judging criteria and how they differ. The WBFF states that the Diva Bikini model is primarily a beauty contest. Female contestants are judged upon their overall beauty, body shape, and natural body tone. Attention is focused on beauty of face, figure, physical fitness, and the confidence with which each contestant carries herself. If we purely focus on muscle and conditioning, we see a pretty big difference in what is rewarded. Generally speaking, in the WBFF, they want a more realistic bikini body look, where you can still see muscle definition, but no glute ham tie-ins, no crazy cap delts, and not coming in peeled to the bone. In the WBFF, there is a clear scoring breakdown. 40% is based off overall marketability, 40% on the physique, and 20% is judged on their stage presence, poise, and confidence. They have their bikini model walk round, which is all about bringing stage presence and confidence. First impressions count, and this is where to do it. Who has that it factor and has the confidence to walk on stage like they are Bella Hadid walking down the Chanel runway at Paris Fashion Week? They also have a swimsuit round. In this round, competitors have the opportunity to show off their killer physiques to fit into that criteria I told you about before. A big takeaway here is that they get to pick to wear a bikini of their choice. Yes, I know in the IFBB MPC a competitor can pick their bikini, but let's face the facts. It still has to fit within a specific standard. In the WBFF, competitors can literally go wild on their design, colour, cut and materials, which is cool as it brings in a creativity and fashion aspect to it. Whilst they can also use it as a strategy to hide any weaknesses of their physiques or highlight their most impressive features. They also have an evening gown round focusing on their elegance and grace. Competitors walk on stage in an evening gown of their choice and are judged on their poise, elegance and overall look. Here again, marketability is a key word because your physique doesn't matter so much here, as it's how you stand out from the crowd and show the judges why you should be an ambassador for the WBFF. Finally, they have final comparisons. This is similar to the IFBB, where it's where the competitors are pinned up against each other and ultimately where the winner is decided. In the IFBB, all the top pros need impressive overall muscle development from the upper and lower body, while still maintaining a feminine look. When looking at the IFBB, the judges typically look at each competitor's muscle development, lines, symmetry, level of conditioning, and posing. In addition to this, they also pay close attention to how well their bikini suits, hair, makeup, and tan work for each individual. An MPC IFBB bikini athlete should display a foundation of muscle which gives shape to the female body, full round glutes with a slight separation between the hamstring and glute area, a small amount of roundness to the delts, a conditioned core, overall look which includes the hair, makeup, suit, tan, poise, posing. However, an MPC IFBB bikini competitor should not display muscular density seen in a figure-like physique, squared glutes, muscular separation seen in figure, graininess, and striations anywhere in the body. Now, if you've watched an IFBB MPC show before, you would already know that they have some of the elements that the WBFF have, but not all of them. You have an individual walk and posing routine, comparison rounds, and sometimes confirmation rounds to decide the champ. The posing and transitions are also pretty stock standard across the board. Yes, each competitor can still have their own flair and way to doing this to show off their personality, but there are still mandatory poses that they must hit, these mandatory poses. There are less ways to hide on an IFBB stage regarding your physique. So for me, this is another determining factor why your bone structure coupled with muscular development is so important here. For me personally, I admire and respect both these federations. They both have a place, and I like that there is a clear distinction between the two. But let's circle back to the question I asked you at the start. What is your motivation? What do you actually want to achieve out of this? Take a moment and think about this. And which federation puts you on the path to your own goals? And if that is to be an influencer, go get that, because I admire anyone who has conviction in pursuit of their dreams. Guys, as always, I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. Subscribe, like, follow me on Insta. Over and out from Bikini Nation.